We are live. Oh,
man.
okay. Anything you want to share about your week?
Anything that I want to share about my week? No. I'm about to take these braids down. This all I got.
Okay, well, you can talk about that. Okay. Ready, set, go.
Not ready, set, go. You sound like Kimba. Ready, set. We're out of here.
It's the Start Sonic Run. Okay.
Oh my goodness.
Welcome back to the Kinks and Beauty Podcast. It's Brittney Ogike, your host, along with the lovely Jessica Houston. Hey, Jess.
Hello.
How are you? How's your week going?
It's going. I am I'm tired. I ain't gonna even hold you. I am.
Same.
I woke up this morning and I was like, I don't know what this week is giving me, but it's giving me very
The weather is
So, yeah.
I mean, we say this. I think we said this last.
We do
last
say
week,
that-
but the weather is changing. It actually rained this week. Rains
and it hailed.
It hailed, and that automatically creates a mood. So I'm totally with you. I've been there this week.
Yeah.
I've kind of been battling something, so the fatigue is definitely getting to me. But
these weather apps are lying because it said that the high today was 80, and I, of course, have on my uniform, which is always going to be a sweatshirt and some shorts and some shoes. And I just walked in the store, and it's cold. Like, what?
Really? Yeah, it's cold.
Yes,
it's overcast today.
It is over. It's been overcast all week. So I think that's like, I don't know. We have those couple of weeks in the fall where things just start to go awry. And it's like the transition into the holiday. The holidays are here. Oh, it's a lot.
Holidays are coming.
The holidays are coming. Oh, yeah. Man. I'm kind of excited, though.
This week is giving us moody, for sure.
It is.
But
it is moody.
Preparing us for the weeks to come, the holidays. Halloween's coming up. Do you have any Halloween plans?
No. I thought that I was going to get Nico and I matching dog mom and dog costumes, but I haven't really thought of anything. He's in this phase where he wants to chew up everything. And if it's like anything new that you put on him, he automatically thinks that it's a toy and we're going to play and tug. And I'll be damned if I spend $40, $50 on a costume and we don't even make it out of the door. So,
right. He already ate it up.
I might just, or eat it up. So I might just find him some pumpkin infused dog treats and we're going to call it a day. His birthday is next month. So.
Oh, let's have a doggy party. You should,
we should have a doggy party.
That would be cute.
They can be reintroduced as adults. Oh God. Our dogs didn't get along my dog was a puppy and Brittney's dog.
Mine was too. What do you mean? He's a puppy.
He's a big puppy. He's a big boy. My dog's a big boy too, but yeah, they're both big boys. So we got to figure out how to get them their cousins. So they have to interact.
They gotta grow up together for sure.
They do.
Well, let's get into this week's episode. We are debunking beauty myths. I think the title is Lies the Beauty Industry Sold Us.
Told us, yes.
Sold or told, both. Or lies you tell. So
that we believed for so long, and then we grew up
and let's talk about that. I mean, growing up, there's certain things that your mom instilled in you. Okay, like this is so stupid, but my mom used to tell me don't sit on my knees because my knees will be black. I don't know.
Same. Or put your elbows on the table.
Or put your elbows on the table. Yes.
Yeah.
Wash your neck or your neck will be black and and they called it rust. Like it just so many. And then it sounds horrible because it's like you don't want, you're saying that because you don't want to get too dark, but it's not really to get too dark, just so everything can, be one tone, I guess you'd say. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, but there's so many things that we grew up listening to as Black girls, young Black women, that I've only come to realize recently were false.
Correct.
For the most part.
And it's just like, well, why were y'all telling us this? Like, I don't know if it was they were telling us this to scare us into, I don't know. It's just, thinking back on it, none of it makes any sense. I think
some of it is rooted in some type of like truth or fact, right? We'll get into like the Black people don't need sunscreen, things like that. But some of it just, I don't know, it doesn't really make sense. And it's just like, is it because we are growing up, Black women, especially in the South, or is it because, unbeknownst to us, these, beauty companies have been selling us these lies and these myths for years so we can go buy their products, right?
Yeah.
I think a
lot of it is Southern, being raised in the South. We have superstitions. There's a lot of just things that old wives tells that just carry on from generation to generation. And, some of them I do, get and understand, but other ones I'm just like, yo, that don't make no sense, y'all. But okay. It makes no sense, but whatever.
Okay, so I mentioned one already. Let's get into it. Black people don't need sunscreen. Myth number 1.
Completely debunked.
Yes. And
think about that. Take a second to think about it. I've thought about it. We are Black and we're in the sun. We need protection too.
We need protection.
Like you need protection. Black people can still get skin cancer. Black people can still burn. I am a person who burns. Like, I have very sensitive skin. So does Britt. And when either of us are in the sun, we were at a birthday party the other day and I was dying. And I looked at Britt and I was like, do you have any sunscreen? And she was like, no. Like,
because I had already put it on my face and I told you I didn't put it on my shoulders, but I definitely put it on my neck and my face because I figured I was going to be out in the sun. And
correct.
And I'm wearing a retinol, so I have to have sunscreen.
Your skin has to be protected from the sun at all times. When you think about it, when you're driving in the car, when you're outside, we live in California. The sun is pretty much, except these times, fall and June gloom, the sun is always out. So we're always exposed to the sun. I put on sunscreen
even inside the house.
Even inside the house. Windows and car windshields make the UV rays it makes it more intensified because the sun is like fighting through. So like it's like a mirror. So if the sun is beaming through the car windshield, it's on your hands, it's on your arms, it's only intensifying as it's beaming in on you, and you need protection from that. So yes, I know it's one of those things where people like, you going overboard with having on sunscreen every day. You out in the sun every day.
Basically.
You take a shower every day.
Basically. I did a little research on this because I'm like, where did this rumor come from? Or myth, really? And it is, like I said earlier, rooted in some type of fact or truth. So Black people do have a lower rate of skin cancer than our white counterparts. And apparently that is because our melanin offers some natural protection against the sun and the UV rays. Apparently it's believed that natural protection hovers around an SPF of 13, which is very interesting. But the daily recommendation of sunscreen from dermatologists and estheticians is 30. So clearly it's still not enough protection, people. We still need sunscreen. We have a little, black magic in our, I don't know how to say, we shouldn't say black magic, but black girl magic in us, melanin magic. How about that? With our inherited protection, but it's not enough. So please put your sunscreen on. If it's not your body, please put it on your face every day. If you are in the sun, if you have a job where you're in the sun, wear a hat, wear protective layers so your skin is not exposed to the sun, multiple hours of the day. Do what you can, because skin cancer is real. And although Black people have a less chance or a lower rate of getting it, when we do get it, it's at a later stage. So it can actually be more detrimental to our community if we end up getting it. So let's just not get it altogether and put sunscreen on. Wear hats, do whatever you need to do, wear shades. Also, very important, there was this picture that went viral a few weeks ago of this woman who, she was a white woman, I will put a disclaimer, who didn't put sunscreen on her neck. Have you seen that? Mm-mm. So she used sunscreen on her face every day, but she was in the sun, but she didn't use sunscreen on her neck. And her neck looked like 100-year-old neck. And the woman was like 50 years old. So make sure we're putting sunscreen, not just on our face, but our neck as well. That goes for our other skincare products. Make sure we're putting the serums, the toners, the moisturizers on our neck as well. On your neck. It is exposed daily to all the, free radicals, the sun, everything like that. Unless you're walking around with a turtleneck on every day, your neck needs the same amount of care as your face to prevent the wrinkles, the sun damage, the aging, the spots and all that. So that's a little tip. Take care of your neck.
That's the first place. That's the first place that tells your age is your neck and your hands.
Absolutely.
Also, I wanted to throw in a little tip, or just I don't know the word that I'm looking for. No, it's a tip. Black people, we're prone to moles, and the way that skin cancer is exhibited is through moles. So a lot of times we might see a new mole that hasn't necessarily been there. Moles just pop up. Right. But they look different when they're cancerous moles versus when they're actual just regular moles. So definitely if you see a new mole or you see a new spot or a freckle, definitely inspect it and make sure that it's not cancerous. The way that you can tell is that the size of it, or the shape of it rather, is going to be more deformed than just a circular mole. It could be raised. It could be a very dark purple color. So just make sure to examine your skin moles once they come in. And the older you get, the more moles, weird, I don't know, they're called age tags. Yeah. Or skin tags. They just start to pop up. They're very interesting. So yeah, just make sure that
I have several.
Yeah.
And they're annoying.
They're very annoying. Mine come in the form of moles or freckles. But they definitely have increased in number since I got in my 30s. And I think they're just only gonna get worse. So yeah.
Do you have any sunscreen faves?
Sunscreen faves. Black Girl Sunscreen is my top fave. I use Black Girl Sunscreen every single day. And then my body fave is just a Neutrogena, at least like an SPF of like 70. It's the spray one, the Neutrogena one. And then I'll have to put it in the show notes because I can see the packaging. It's like the coconutty one. It's a stick. It has a monkey on it. It's yellow and brown. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I don't know what it's called.
Not what is it called? Crap. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, that's my other favorite one. Just for a quick one, just to like throw in my backpack and have with me all the time.
Banana boat?
No.
It's not banana boat?
Not banana boat. It's a newer one. It came out a couple of years ago, and they have it in a like
Skin Bum.
Yes. Yeah. I like that one. It's kind of expensive though, but sunscreen is expensive.
Right. Good ones, good quality ones. I use Supergoop Unseen sunscreen on my face. It has an SPF of 40. I like that one because it doesn't give me a white cast. I love using it under makeup. Also, like if I'm doing a quick face, I like to use it under my tinted moisturizer. Isden is also a really good brand. I buy it online. Though I use that when I know I'm going to be in the sun, because it does have an SPF of 50, and it has some other really cool, amazing skincare products or skincare ingredients in that one. So I use, depending on the day and what I'm doing. If I'm like, at soccer practice with my son, I'm going to put the Isden on. If I'm, on vacation, I'm going to wear my Black Girl sunscreen on my body and put the Isden on my face. If I'm just going to an event during the day and I need to wear makeup, I'm going to put the Unseen on my face. So it just depends, but definitely have a good supply of sunscreen. And the least you could do is put sunscreen on your face and neck every day. So myth number 1, Black people do need sunscreen. Well, how do I say that? Myth number 1 debunked.
Yes,
Black people,
there you go.
Black people do need sunscreen. Put your sunscreen on, people of color. Everyone, actually, but especially
everyone
for our Black and brown community. Myth number 2, Vaseline is a cure-all. Black people love Vaseline. Oh my goodness. Vaseline. I personally hate Vaseline, but
Black people love Vaseline. If you don't see a jar of Vaseline just laying around somewhere,
are you even Black?
Are you even Black? Like, you better go get that Vaseline. What? Huh? Yeah, okay. So I have a funny story. I am currently having some skin issues. We just talked about the sun. I think either I have a sun allergy or sun rashes, eczema. It's something. So I've been kind of dealing with it it's been a few weeks at this point. So the person who is specialized in skin still calls their mom, because why not? You call your mama for everything. So I have an uncle who, when he was young, he had really bad eczema. He's the youngest of my mom's siblings. So she kind of was the one who guided him through his eczema journey. So I called her because I knew she would know. So I called her. I said, Mom, I'm having I think I got eczema. What should I put on it? And she said, Vaseline. I said, Mama, she was like, well, you asked me what to put on it. And I was like, I don't really know if that's gonna help it. So I did get some Vaseline. I haven't really used it. I more so used it for my feet, because that you can use Vaseline on your feet. But as for my actual eczema, skin rash, whatever, I have a plethora of eczema products that have worked way better than Vaseline ever did. So sorry, Mom, the Vaseline did not work.
I mean, let's talk about why Vaseline is not a cure-all. So, the consistency, people think that it's moisturizing, it's hydrating. However, it's not. It's petroleum jelly, right? That's the ingredient. And what it does, it creates a seal around your skin to lock in moisture that's already in your skin, right? So it's not really creating moisture. It's trying to seal in that moisture that's already in your skin and prevent it from evaporating. So what I would suggest doing, although I'm not a dermatologist or an esthetician, but I have done research on these certain types of skin issues because I myself deal with psoriasis. But what I would suggest doing is putting some type of moisturizer in your skin first, and then using that Vaseline to lock in that moisture. A lot of people do it with their feet. I know there was this trend on TikTok a few months ago or years ago even, of people, slathering their feet with Vaseline, putting socks on, and then when they wake up in the morning, their feet is all nice and soft or whatever. That could work. I would up that and maybe put on a nice nourishing lotion first, and then putting the Vaseline on top of it, then putting your socks on to create that type of intense moisturizing effect for your feet. But Vaseline does have some great benefits, in terms of I know we use it a lot on our lips, we use it a lot on scabs to improve healing and things like that. But it's not a cure-all, everyone. As a black person, I've been told to put Vaseline on everything. We grew up with Vaseline in our house all the time. I still use Vaseline to this day, but I use it to create the appearance of shiny skin. So when my kids, you know, are on their way off to school and their face is just super dry, I'm like, let me just put some Vaseline on them real quick, just to have the appearance of, you know, nice, shiny skin. You know, like that's kind of how I use the Vaseline. It's not really creating any type of moisture for me. It's purely aesthetic for me.
Yeah. The Vaseline is not, think of Vaseline as like the wall between your skin barrier and everything else. That wall is basically used to just protect everything else, but it's not adding any benefits to it. So yeah.
Weren't they using Vaseline and slugging?
Yes, Vaseline is used for slugging, but I think we talked about that. We still put something under the Vaseline to basically help since the Vaseline is so thick, it helps push that thinner product in, but it's not adding to the product at all. It's just helping it lock it in.
Right. I mean, and for those of you who've tried, I've never tried it. I have oily skin, so I don't think slugging is for me. For people putting Vaseline on your face, please be very careful because it traps a lot of, you know, dirt and it can clog your pore. Well, they say Vaseline doesn't clog pores. I don't know how I feel about that, but just be careful and limit the use on your face. If you want to use it for your chapped lips, by all means, go ahead. But yeah, I don't really understand the benefits of the slugging, but some people swear by it.
I don't swear by it. I don't have time. I would rather just do a light face oil and call it a day. It works the same.
Same. And alternatives for Vaseline, like I said, I don't really use Vaseline.
That's what I was about to say.
But I love Aquaphor. I use it on my kids. I use it on my baby's diaper rash and all that. I use it on my lips. I don't know. I feel like it has more healing ingredients. I don't know. I prefer a nice Aquaphor. I'll put it on a rash, and after, you know, an hour, my rash is gone. So I prefer an Aquaphor when I'm looking for that type of like petroleum jelly consistency.
Aquaphor just doesn't seem, it's heavy, it's thick, but it just doesn't seem as thick. I don't know.
As thick, right? It doesn't.
I don't know. It doesn't come out like, it's weird having to stick your hand in the Vaseline jar and then you so you're putting, okay, so I use my Vaseline for my feet, right? So I'm putting my hands in the Vaseline to then put it on my feet and then use it for my lips. Girl, absolutely not.
I thought you have those little small lip, those Vaseline jars for your lip.
I have those. Okay, those are fine. But I'm saying like the big jar when I'm about to like go to bed or something and I'm just like, oh, my lips dry. And I did it once and I was like, that is disgusting.
It's very nasty.
I immediately got some Aquaphor and put it on my bedside table. No.
What you should do too, a lot of I know a lot of skincare companies are adding little sticks to dip your to scoop out your product, because if you think about it, our fingers are kind of nasty depending on where we're putting that product, even if it's on our face and we're reusing it. So it's best to maybe use like one of those sticks. And I think they're just there's some brands selling them separately now too, just the stick, and then you can rinse them off or whatever, clean them and let it air dry for the next use. So that's a good point. That's gross if you're using the same jar for your feet as your lips or even your face.
Yeah, it's kind of gross.
So myth number 1 debunked. Vaseline is not, number 2. Vaseline myth is number not 2. A cure-all, okay?
No.
Myth number 3. Oily skin doesn't need moisture. Okay. I can speak to this because growing up, my face has gotten a little drier over the years for several different reasons. But growing up, I've always had oily skin, and I used to think, I don't need moisturizer. It's just going to make my skin more oily and, cause more pimples and all that stuff. And I think what this really comes down to is figuring out what ingredients work best for your skin, knowing the difference between moisture and hydration. Because your skin can be oily but dehydrated, right? So oily skin still needs moisture. Do you need heavy creams and oils on your skin with oily skin? Absolutely not. Do you need maybe like a light gel with, that's water-based, that's going to, help your skin look supple and hydrated? Absolutely. So I think this myth is more about figuring out what products work for your skin, what moisturizers work for your skin, what ingredients work for your skin. Like I know, like, what is it? Niacinamide is a great, hydrating ingredient for skin. My skin loves it, even though I am very oily. So I think it's about figuring out what your skin likes and using that. And it's not niacinamide, it's hyaluronic acid. Sorry. That's really good for oily skin.
Yes.
Alpha hydroxy acids are really good for oily skin. If you're using certain chemical exfoliants, your skin will not be as oily and can dry out, which is what has happened to me over the past couple of years because I'm on a retinoid. So moisturizers are very important. I still get oily at times, especially if I have makeup on, but because I'm using a retinol that dries my skin out, I still need sometimes even a heavy duty moisturizer at night to kind of, set my skin and keep it moisturized.
Yes. So a lot of times people think that the oil that's accumulating on their skin is basically hydrating their skin, and that's not the case. That's just your skin type. That's just what your skin is. It's an overproduction. It's trying to overcompensate for it being either super dry or super dehydrated. So depriving it of the moisture isn't making it any better. It's only going to keep trying to overproduce the oil. So you still have to give it some type of moisture in order for it to balance out. Like I said, like we're born with skin types. So like I was born with drier skin. Brittney was born with oilier skin. So we just have to find products that are going to work for our skin types and not try to change them or manipulate them to be what we want them to be. They're always going to produce what they're going to produce. It's just you go through ebbs and flows of when the dryness or the oiliness is really good, and then you go through ebbs and flows when it's really bad, and you just got to figure out, you have to change products, you have to change ingredients to work with your skin in that particular time.
Absolutely. So myth number 3, debunked. Oily skin actually does need moisture.
Correct.
All right, let's go into myth number 4. This is actually one of my favorites because I struggle with this all the time. Your pores can change shape. Okay.
Nope.
Your pores cannot change shape. You are born with the pores that you have. They can either look big and open or look small and closed, but they do not shrink over time. Products claiming that your pores shrink over time or with using that product are lying. What you can do is minimize the appearance of pores, and we can talk about that, but your pores will never change. Sorry, not sorry. I struggle with this because I have quote unquote like open pores, and if I don't take proper care of my skin, they appear larger at times. And my whole, I feel like my daily skincare routine is all about minimizing the appearance of my pores. So I'm declogging them. I am, again, taking, using retinols to tighten my skin and give the illusion of smaller pores. I use ingredients that like AHAs, BHAs in my skincare to continue to reduce my appearance of pores. I've done, the lasers and the micro needling and all the things to that's just basically my skincare goal. Reduce the appearance of my pores. They're not going to change shape. They're not going to open or close or anything like that. They don't move. You can either clean them or you can clog them up. And that's kind of what those are the choices you have.
You said it all. That it's like we just said with both skin, oily skin being, you can't change how you were born with that, and the size of your pores, it's not going to change. You can use different products and different ingredients, like Britt said, to reduce the size. You can get facials, you can get extractions, you can get all of that gunk out of it. And once you get off the table and for, a couple of weeks until your next facial, then yes, your pores are going to appear smaller because there's nothing in them that's just making them appear larger, like dirt, like sebum. But once you take all of that out, it's kind of just like a clean pore. But pores are just basically bowls, or that's how my brain works. It's just like something to hold all this gunk. So if it's gonna make your face appear oilier. It's gonna make your pores appear like they're super large. But once you take everything out, then it goes back to normal-esque for a time.
Temporary, depending on what you're using. I know a lot of people do chemical peels as well, clay masks, charcoal masks. We sell the Aztec clay at the store. Sometimes I'll use that to, tighten my skin and reduce the appearance of my pores. And we got to be careful too. Even when we say it, sometimes we're like, reduce the size. No, but it's the appearance of them, like how they look. You're not physically altering the shape of the pore. So a lot of these beauty companies claim to alter the shape of the pore. And again, they're lying. Your pores cannot change shape. The only thing you can do is declog them by tightening your skin and using certain ingredients that will give off that illusion. So I don't know what myth we're on. Let me see. Is it 5 or 4? Okay. 4. Myth number 4, your pores. Well, myth number 4 debunked. Your pores cannot change shape. I feel like we need some type of music or something after we debunk a myth.
You gonna find it.
Some type of effect.
Da da da.
Dun, 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 dun. Okay, myth number 5: shaving makes your hair grow back thicker.
I love this one. Go off.
This is
my favorite. All right. No, shaving does not make your hair grow back thicker. Shaving does, on the other hand, make your hair grow back faster. So, go on this visual. Y'all know I'm a visual. I love a good visual because I'm very detailed. So think about when you're shaving, right? I think I said this in the waxing episode. It's like shaving a lawn. So you go over your skin with the razor and it literally just takes off the hair that you can see, right? Mm-hmm. There's still a bulb and there's still hair under the skin that you didn't get because it's just shaving. So when the hair grows back, that hair is going to come up faster because now it doesn't have anywhere to go. So it's just going to grow up, but it's not, if you think about it, it's not growing back thicker. So it grows back I don't want to say rougher.
Well, but this is what I'll say this. When you shave it, you're cutting the hair at its widest part, like at the base of your skin anyway, right? So as your hair is growing out, as your hair gets longer, that it eventually thins out. So I think that's why people think that it's thicker because when you're growing and when you're cutting it at its widest part and it's growing, it feels coarse. It feels coarser. Like, is this really my hair? But then you'll see as, over time, whether it's weeks, days, months, however long it takes your hair to grow back, you'll realize, oh, it's actually the same hair, texture or whatever. It's not necessarily thicker. It's not more dense or anything like that. It's just that initial cut, once it grows, that hair follicle is at its thickest point. So you think your hair is thicker, but it's really not. It'll thin out over time.
The more it grows, it's just going to go back to whatever normal. That's why people shave so much. You're constantly shaving because the hair is just growing back. It's growing back faster, and you're thinking that it's growing back thicker. So you're like, oh my God, I got to get it off. I got to get it off. But no, it's not.
As opposed to waxing, where you're removing the actual hair follicle, or laser hair removal, again, removing the hair follicle. And that kind of over time, I think, creates damage, and maybe then your hair feels a bit thinner, or not as dense,
Right.
So yes, shaving does not make your hair grow back thicker. It's the same hair you've always had. If you don't want your hair to grow back thicker, maybe try these alternatives like waxing or laser hair removal. And apparently, I'm going to look into this because I've always shied away from laser hair removal, thinking that it's not as effective on melanin skin. But I hear times are changing. So
times are changing.
Yeah, I would love to look into that and maybe do a few treatments, because I freaking hate waxing, and I can't shave, especially like my bikini area, because it's very sensitive and I get rashes and stuff. But shaving my legs, I feel like I'm shaving my legs every other day. It's so annoying.
I was in the shower this morning and I was like, I don't like hair. I don't like hair at all. Like, I just don't. I hate it. I shave my legs pretty much every day or every other. In the summertime,
Are you serious?
I shave my legs every single day in the summertime. Alexis gets so mad at me because I take so long in the shower when we're trying to go somewhere, but I just don't like it. I don't like it. I don't know. But this morning, I'm going to the gym. See, Britt, I'm saying it on the podcast.
Yes,
she will go to the gym today. And I was like, okay, I'm wearing shorts when I go to the gym. Did I shave my legs yesterday? And then I was like, I shaved my legs yesterday, so I'm not going to shave them today. And they don't look bad. They don't look like, if it doesn't look like I need to shave, if it's just like you touch them and they're a little prickly, that's okay. But once you can see the hair, oh girl, I'm shaving. Like, I'll probably shave tomorrow.
I don't have the time.
Brittany, you have 3 kids.
I will, and that's why I'm interested in the laser hair removal, because even with me with waxing my legs, I feel like my hair's growing a week later. So I need another alternative.
Waxing your legs is pointless.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah,
you might as well just shave.
Right.
I do want to get laser on my upper lip and my underarm.
Okay.
I just don't know how I feel about my laser being on my face, because if things go awry, then I'm gonna be mortified.
Do you wax your upper lip, and does that last?
I get it threaded.
Oh, you get it threaded. Okay.
And getting it threaded it hurts like a bitch. Oh my God. And you would think the more you get it done, it would get better, but it's getting worse.
It's like these nerves, and it's just like, oh my gosh, it's like the worst.
Our threader told my sister when we went to get our eyebrows done a few weeks ago that when you're either on your cycle or right before your cycle or you're pregnant, that's when it's the most sensitive. So
I believe that.
I was like, oh my God, this is the worst. And now she asked me, she's like, do you want to start with your lip first? And I'm like, just do whatever, because it hurts.
So yeah, that just makes a good point. Threading is also another option. Can you get your legs threaded? I'm sure you can.
You can, but who want to do that?
No, that sounds like it would take a long time.
Sounds horrible. Oh my God. No.
Okay. Myth number 5 debunked. Shaving does not make your hair grow back thicker. All right. Myth number 6. Toothpaste on pimples. This is one that I grew up with.
Same.
I mean,
have you done it before?
Oh, I used to do it all the time. Like
all
even
time.
Within the past 5 years, I've done toothpaste on pimple. Like
all the time.
All the time. Put toothpaste on it, it'll dry it out. That was the reason behind the toothpaste on pimples. But I hope as a society and as a culture, we're moving away from this because there's so many alternatives now.
Just put clay on it.
Or clay. Yeah, that works. The reason behind this is because the menthol in the toothpaste can dry out the pimple. But there's other ingredients in the toothpaste that can cause irritation and be problematic for the skin. So this is why we really don't want to be putting toothpaste on our face. There's other alternatives. I, for one, have been loving pimple patches. Have you tried those?
I haven't.
Oh my gosh, they are the best thing ever. Apparently they have origins in K-beauty, Korean beauty, and have made their way across the pond to the US, and all the brands are doing them now. I've personally had a few of them. I've done, the Peace Out Acne patch, Mighty Patch by Hero Cosmetics has some.
I see that in Target all the time.
They're really good. Mario Badescu has some now. I've also used, these aren't pimple patches, but I've also used the Bolden Overnight Spot Treatment. That's what I was using a few years ago. But the reason why I love the pimple patches is because they're so thin and so effective that, one, you can, I'll put it on at night, and then, because that's when I usually see a lot of my pimples or whatever. But say I peel it off at night and it's still there, I can apply it. I can apply another one over my acne mark, and you can put makeup over it. It's very transparent. No one knows. If someone knows that you have a pimple patch on, they're too close to you, basically. So I don't know. They're a game changer, if you ask me. I love them. There's a new company called Zitsticka that's really good. They actually have little micro needles in their pimple patches that infuse certain ingredients to help dry out the pimple faster. I haven't tried those, but I keep hearing about the brand. So I want to try those for my next pop up. But those are some great alternatives to toothpaste on your pimple. And toothpaste on your pimple is actually kind of messy because it gets on your pillowcase and it's not the best.
And I used to always think that you had to have a certain type of toothpaste, and it's a toothpaste that I don't use. So
really?
I always heard that it was the white Colgate one, just the pure white Colgate.
Yeah, like a regular. Yeah.
I don't use it. So yeah, definitely get a spot treatment. They're out there and they're very effective versus toothpaste. I used to walk around as a teenager with toothpaste on my face, and my daddy would always be like, "What is it on your face?"
Yeah, I've been outside in public with toothpaste on my face.
Brittney,
I have, but this is back in the day. Like seriously, back in the day, not now.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, back in the day. Okay, myth number 6 debunked. Toothpaste does not remove pimples.
No, it doesn't, guys. Sorry.
All right, let's get into our last beauty myth. We could have a show all month long about these beauty myths because they are out there, y'all, wreaking havoc on our lives.
They come up on TikTok every freaking, y'all just making up stuff now. Everybody just leave stuff alone.
Listen, and this goes into our next topic, because do not be listening to these TikTok influencers unless they're certified dermatologists. Listen to experts like Jessica and myself, not TikTok influencers.
Please, not TikTok influencers. Just
this myth is more of a category, and that is clean beauty. there's a lot we could talk about. We can have a whole episode, a whole series on clean beauty. I just want to start off by saying clean beauty is bullshit. And the reason why I feel that way.
It really is. Like,
it's because there's so much, like, you know, misinformation out there. There's a lot of fear mongering. There's a lot of people profiting off of this, you know, fear mongering. And yeah, I mean, let's get into it. I mean, so what is clean beauty? I don't know, because there's no definition really out there. There's no, you know, governmental body, you know, there's no standard, there's no type of regulation or anything, which is part of the problem, right? It's a movement started a few years ago. The intentions were good, but basically it's saying that, in a nutshell, our beauty products are toxic, and we need to switch to, I'm putting air quotes, cleaner, more natural ingredients. It also goes into like the whole sustainability issue, climate change issue. I mean, clean beauty is really a catch-all for a lot of stuff that doesn't really make sense, that's contradictory, that, you know, I mean, it's a lot. So when we talk about it, there's a whole industry out there. There's stores dedicated to it. There's brands dedicated to it. It's about, you know, removing quote unquote toxic ingredients from our products and supplementing them with more natural, clean ingredients, unprocessed ingredients. They, you know, don't like synthetics in, you know, your makeup or your skincare. I mean, it's just a lot. So basically, I think the reason why we're having such issue with the clean beauty movement is because there's no standard. Brands are doing their own thing. Some brands consider certain things clean, where other brands consider other things clean. And I think it's just creating a lot of noise and confusion with consumers. And we really don't know which way to turn. So really, I just want to talk about just how to navigate it, right? So when we talk about natural products, not all natural ingredients are good for you. I remember I was listening to a podcast. I forget the dermatologist's name, but she's really like famous on Instagram. I think her name is like Dr. Hirsch or whatever. And she was saying like arsenic is natural, but is it good for you? Are we going to lather our skin with arsenic? Absolutely not. So just because something is quote unquote natural doesn't mean it's better for you. There's a lot of synthetics out there, synthetic ingredients that are good for you, that are hypoallergenic, that, you know, are pure and things like that are actually better for you than a lot of these natural products in our natural ingredients in our products. So when it comes to clean beauty, and I feel like I'm on a rant right now, but just when it comes to clean beauty, do your research. Figure out what ingredients work for you. You know, hold brands accountable. See if they're being transparent, you know, when they're listing their ingredients, where they're sourcing their ingredients from. If sustainability is important to you, make sure, you know what that brand's, you know, doing in terms of their packaging and their carbon footprint and all that. So I think it comes down to like what's important to you. Fact check, do your research, stay informed, hold brands accountable, and, you know, make a conscious decision when you're purchasing beauty products.
Man, I don't even.
That was a lot. I know it was a rant. I'm sorry.
I don't even know what to say. A lot of times I get clients who come into the treatment room and they ask me about clean beauty and does it work? And I never want to like stick my foot in my mouth, but I want to say, I don't really think so. Because if you think about it, if you put a pure product on your face, we all know vitamin C is my favorite. If you take literal unprocessed ascorbic acid and you just put it on your face, right? It's going to do more harm than good. So it has to be somewhat processed to make sure that it's still safe for you, but it's not going to be just like, unprocessed and all this stuff. A lot of clean beauty doesn't do necessarily what you're trying. If you're trying to lighten your hyperpigmentation, there's not a lot of clean beauty out there that's saying it's proven that this product will help with lightening hyperpigmentation.
Absolutely.
So sometimes you can't go fully clean beauty or holistic beauty and you have all these and it be actually effective. If you have all these skin goals and you have all these different things that you want to see in your skin, sometimes you have to be able to loosen the reins just a little bit and make the choice to say, okay, I'll use this product as far as like a cleanser or something like that, but to just cleanse my skin. But if it's something that I'm actually concerned about and I want to change, it might have to be a little bit right to help,
like you said,
to move the process along a little bit faster. Sometimes the expectations of clean beauty is so far-fetched and you're wanting these results from something that doesn't have anything in it. So it's not gonna do what you want it to do because shit, it don't have, it's pure. Like sometimes pure it's not necessarily the greatest. So like Britt said, definitely do your research, definitely look into the brand. Sometimes you have to go more along the lines of having the sustainability with packaging, with who the brand is as a cult, what the brand is, what their culture is, and just see if that kind of aligns with your clean beauty values.
Right. I agree. And you made a good point too, Jess, in terms of like, researching brands and seeing if they're effective. There are a lot of quote unquote clean beauty brands that do clinical testing or they're backed by, science or, dermatologist recommended. So if you, insist on cleaner options, try looking for things like that. Okay. Like Kosas is a really good brand. It's a makeup brand. They have a lot of skincare and stuff like that. So they do a lot of clinical testing. They, are very transparent in their process. So find brands that align with your values. Like Jess said, do your research and make sure that the claims that they're advertising are supported by these things, the testing, backed by science and things like that. So hopefully that can guide you in your, purchase decisions, because you don't want to get ripped off from some brand claiming to be some type of, clean beauty gimmick, and it's not effective at all. So you might be saying, oh, well, everything I have on my face is organic and natural, but is it even working? And did you spend $100 just to say that you bought something that's organic or natural?
That's my thing.
We're going to end with that. You guys make sure whatever clean beauty topics are important to you, you find brands that match those goals, that those values that you have, and just continue to stay informed. The industry is always changing. There's always going to be something newer, better, bigger, shinier. But as long as you do your research and effectively figure out the products and the ingredients that work best for you, you shouldn't have a problem with all this clean beauty bullshit, basically. So that's our episode on debunking beauty myths. We hope you learned something today. A lot of the products that Jess and I mentioned in the show, we will have in the show notes. So just look at the show notes for links to those products. Thanks as always for listening to us. We hope you enjoyed the show. Continue to follow us on Instagram. We are at KinksN, like the letter N, Beauty. You can shop us online at beautybees.com. You can shop us in store IRL in North Hollywood. Pull up on us. Jess and I are normally there. Anything else you want to add, Jess? This was a fun topic.
This was cute. I like this.
We can, like I said, we can go on for days. If there's other beauty myths that you guys have questions on, let us know. send us a comment, write us a review, a good review only though. We don't want any bad reviews, but write us a review and continue to support us. Thank you so much for listening to this week's episode. We will see you guys next week.
Bye, guys.